Welcome to Messages from Light with Nikki Avery. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Nikki with Messages from Light, and today we're going to talk about some more basics. We're going to talk about your connection to your divine, to your higher consciousness, to God, to whatever you call your higher universal energy. This is something that, like I said, we're going to go very basic, and for a lot of us it's going to be a review because we've been on this path for a while. And when we've been on this path for a while, we have a tendency to, forget to do these basic steps. And that's kind of why I want to go back over them, is not only as a way to help people who are just finding their way into a spiritual path and into this journey, but also to kind of work as a reminder for those of us who have been doing it for a long time that, you have to remember to do the basics. So even though you know that you're supposed to be doing these, the question is, are you doing them? Are you grounding? Are you surrounding? Are you meditating? Are you doing the things that keep you connected? Because these are your basics. These are your foundations. And without these foundations, then regardless of what advanced skill you're working on, that advanced skill isn't going to work as well as it could if you had your foundation solid. Because we all know that when we're learning anything, it doesn't matter what it is, when we're building anything, either way, you have to have a solid foundation. You have to have a solid basic understanding. So what we're going to talk about today is basic energy connection and basic energetic transfer. Because connecting with our divine is not only about connecting with a higher power, but it's about remembering and connecting to our own internal divinity. And that's something that people just coming into this path and just starting their spiritual walk need to understand, is that you yourself are internally divine. You yourself are God. You yourself are that infinite energy. So when we connect to our own internal infinite energy, then it also allows us a stronger connection to that infinite energy universally. And when we strengthen that universal connection and that internal connection at the same time, then it allows us to work in complete synchronicity with the universal plan and with universal divinity and universal consciousness. And that's kind of our goal, right? That's what we want. We want to be in the right flow. We want to be in the correct flow for our life. And so when we talk about these basics, remember that these basic things, they're what help get you ready to accept those more advanced concepts like Reiki and matrixing and Diksha. That's what helps you grow your connection to a point where you can do those advanced skills. So get these basic foundational things and remember that these are a constant. They're an everyday practice. They need to be an everyday practice in your life. When you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed at night, whenever, set an alarm on your phone, put a Post-it note out. Do whatever you need to do to remind yourself that every day I'm going to take this, 10 to 20 minute block of time, and I'm going to focus completely on my connection to my divinity, completely on my spiritual well-being. And, 10 to 20 minutes a day, that's not asking a lot, people. That's not asking for too much. Not when we're talking about our spiritual health and our spiritual well-being. That's all it takes. 10 to 20 minutes a day of conscious focus on it. And you will start to see changes happen in your life. It's that simple. So let's talk about what needs to go into that 10 to 20 minutes of time. the first thing that I want to talk about is grounding, because grounding is all about reconnecting your energy to the earth's energy. And we're all connected to the earth's energy. The earth is like a giant magnet. So we're all connected to this energy. But our everyday lives and the things that we do, even the clothes, the clothes that we wear and the shoes that we wear, they interfere with this connection. Okay, so when we're grounding, we're telling our bodies and our energy that we want that connection with the earth. So one of the easiest ways to make this connection with the earth, for me, it was one of the first techniques that I was ever taught. And it's a very simplistic visualization that allows you to regain that connection. What I want you to do is imagine yourself as a tree. Imagine your feet as the root system of that tree. Now, we know that a tree has deep roots. So I want you to send the roots down into the ground. I want you to visualize the roots, which are your feet. These roots are growing from your feet and they're going down into the earth, down to the center of the earth. I want you to find that beautiful central core of the earth, that perfect stable point in the center of the earth. And then I want you to wrap the roots around that central point 3 times. Now, mind you, 3 is an important number. 3 is the sign of the Trinity. 3 is important in multiple different belief systems. 3 is a very spiritual number. So wrap your roots around that central core 3 times. Feel the tug of that energetic pull. And when I say that, what I mean is when you do this and you visualize this and you know that through this visualization you are making this connection to the earth's energy happen, you will feel a slight tug at your ankles. They will feel slightly heavier. You'll feel the pull of earth's energy. You'll feel it stabilizing you. When we ground and we ground properly, and we do this on a daily basis, it helps us find clarity. It helps us find focus. It helps us remember our connection to everything around us. And that's a huge key on any spiritual path, is remembering that everything that is around you is connected. So grounding is a big one. Now, these are going to be very base examples, but they're just going to give you an idea of what you need to do. And I will let you know a little more later on, but we will be coming out with some guided meditations and some different things that will help you get these basic steps. Okay? So the second thing that I want to talk about now is what I call surrounding. And what I see this as is connecting to universal consciousness. It's connecting my own divine inner light to the divine conscious light of the universe. So what I see this as is I see this as kind of making a bubble around myself with white light. So I imagine a shower head, like a big rainfall shower head, over the top of my head. And what I want to happen is I want white light to fall from the shower head. Now, as this white light falls from the shower head and it hits me, just like in a shower, it is soaking me and soaking into me. So I am absorbing this universal divine light, this universal divine love, this divine higher consciousness. I am not only absorbing this, but I am also kind of coating myself in this. So what I'm going to have happen is I'm going to visualize a bubble of this white light building around my physical body, so that I am completely surrounded in this white light, and it's constantly interacting with my own energy field. I am constantly absorbing and giving to this white light. That is your divine connection. That is your divine consciousness. That is your higher consciousness. You want to visualize this bubble. You want to know that this bubble stays with you all day, that you are constantly giving and taking from this divine source, that it's constantly open to you. It's a reminder to keep your divine conscious and in the front of your conscious mind. When we do this and we know that that divine energy is coming down and connecting with our own internal divinity, then it keeps our higher consciousness in control because we're grounded, we're more focused. And once we've become more focused, we've then connected to our higher consciousness, to the universal consciousness. And we've said, I want to have this flow in my life. I want to feed my own inner divinity. And when you tell the universe that, the universe will give you that. Now, one of the other things that you need to be doing, and mind you, if you're grounding in your surrounding, these are processes that take a matter of a few minutes. Grounding takes a few minutes. When you do your surroundings, sometimes that can take a little bit longer. It depends on what you have going on. But you're still looking at maybe 7 to 10 minutes worth of time to ground and surround. That's still leaving you 5 to 10 minutes out of that 20 that we're talking about using to focus on your inner divinity. That still leaves you 5 or 10 minutes to do this last step. And this is huge. I really want everybody to pay attention because we keep blowing this off. But what we're not realizing is that when we're meditating, even if we're talking about focusing consciously, even if we're talking about, meditating on a fixed point or something like that. When we're talking about meditating, what we're talking about doing is we're talking about internally connecting to ourselves. We're talking about removing all other stimulants. We're talking about removing all other thought processes. We're talking about quieting our minds. When we're quieting our minds, we're allowing ourselves an internal moment of silence that allows our higher consciousness, that allows our universal consciousness, our divinity, to answer the things that we're asking. We need this quiet center for a few minutes every day. When you're doing this meditation, this is a perfect time for you to ask for what you need in your life. So if you need a stronger connection, if you need to see the divine in your life more, this is the time for you to ask for it. If you want divine guidance, this is the time to ask for it. There's a lot of things that you can do with this meditation. My favorite is personally, I have created this visualization of this beautiful garden. And in the center of this garden is a big giant fountain and a bench, because I love the sound of running water. So I've created this fountain with this bench in front of it. And when I'm feeling lost, when I'm feeling out of sorts, I go and I sit on this bench in this garden. And that's what I do during my meditation. And sometimes, there are other people in the garden. Sometimes I talk to them and sometimes I don't. It depends on what my consciousness needs at that time. But understand that this gives yourself some place to go to allow yourself a connection with your guides. And again, we're going to do some guided meditations and some different things later on that are going to be released that will help you to get these internal steps a little bit easier. You can ask for guidance. You can ask for help at any time during the day. It doesn't matter. It's like saying a prayer. You can send it up at any point in time. You can say, hey, universe, I need your help. I've got something going on, or I can't deal with this emotion, or whatever it is. You can ask at any point in time. But when you meditate, you're giving your soul focus to your internal divinity and to that central focus of universal consciousness. So you're allowing yourself to get an answer. And sometimes the answer that you get isn't going to be what you want. Doesn't make it good or bad, it just makes it what it is. You're not always going to get the answer that you want. Just know that whatever the answer is, you're getting that answer for your highest and greatest good. If you are asking for a specific job and they don't give you that job, it doesn't mean that they just don't want you to be happy. It means that that job isn't what was going to make you happy. There's a reason behind everything that happens. Be open to receiving an answer other than the one that you expected. Trust that whatever answer you receive is going to be the right one. And trust that if you are taking these simple steps to reconnect and to openly focus on that connection and on that communication, it may take a little time, but slowly and surely you will see it start to manifest into your life. You will see those signs that we're talking about. You will hear that internal voice. You will feel that internal calm. You will start to feel your connection with the divine grow because you are making a conscious effort to grow that connection. Grounding, surrounding with white light, meditation. I know, super basic, guys, but they're the keys and they're the foundation. So grow your foundation. Keep shining your inner light. I hope this was informative. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, comment. I would love to hear what else you're doing to help consciously keep your connection to the divine in the front of your mind. I'd love to hear what else you're doing to grow that connection. Let me know about your experiences. If you haven't checked out the website, please do so. It's awakenedlight.com. You'll see it at the bottom of the screen. And be watching for information coming out about a new channel that we're going to do that's going to be all about doing the actual work. So readings, the guided meditations, all of these things that we are talking about doing, and these extra little pieces that help you grow your inner light and help you move forward in your spiritual path. We're going to open another channel just for those so that we can keep messages from light specifically focused on what spirit wants me to communicate. And I hope you enjoyed it. I can't wait to talk to you guys again. Have a great day. Until next time. Bye, guys.